Okay, for example 16, it says we took a random sample of college students and found that out of 100 college students, 40, that's 40%, have admitted cheating on a college exam. Find an approximate 68% confidence interval for the percentage of college students who have admitted cheating on an exam. So we're looking for the confidence interval. So the formula for that is p hat plus or minus z star times the SE. So in this case, our p hat is the 40%, which is 0.40, which comes from 40 out of 100. And as we fill in the formula, we know p hat, z star, since we're looking for 68, the z star for 68 is 1, because 68 is one standard deviation from the mean. And then to find the SE, remember we have the formula square root p hat, 1 minus p hat, all over n. So to find our SE, it's the square root of p hat, 0.40, times 1 minus 0.40, all over n, which is 100. Be careful typing that in. So when we type that in the calculator, we have the square root of 0.40, parenthesis 1 minus 0.40, close parenthesis, divided by 100, and that gives you 0.04898, so we'll round that off to maybe 0.049, so 0.049, and again, make sure we got that from the SE formula, 0.049, and then we can now fill in our formula. So it's p hat, which is 0.40, plus or minus z star, which is 1, times your SE, which is 0.049. We're going to do one with a minus and one with a plus. And we'll type that in the calculator. So we have 0.40 minus 1 times 0.049, which gives us 0.351, and then the other side, 0.40 minus 1 times 0.049, which gives us I did that with a plus. So 0.40 plus 1 times 0.049, which gives us 0.449. Now, before we move on, we can check this in the calculator. To check these numbers in the calculator before we write our sentence, remember what the calculator wants. Our calculator is going to want the x, which would be the numerator, which is 40. The calculator is going to want the denominator, which is n, which is 100, and then it's going to want the confidence level, which in this case is 0.68. So to check this in the calculator, we go to stat, to the right for tests, all the way down to letter A. And again, what the calculator wants is x, which was 40, n, which was a sample size 100, and the C level, which is 0.68. Go to calculate, hit enter, and we got 0.351, 0.449. Notice, very close to what we got, so we know we did it correctly. And then we can write the sentence. The sentence is, we are 68% confident the proportion of college students who admit cheating on exam is between 35.1% and 44.9%. Okay, so we're 68% confident the proportion of college students who admit cheating on an exam is between 35.1% and 44.9%. Okay? Now, the next example, we took a random sample of college students and found that out of 100 college students, 40 have admitted cheating on a college exam. So we have the same p hat, which is 40% which is 0.40, which comes from 40 out of 100. Again, in the calculator, x is going to be 40, and it's going to be 100. But this time we want 90%. Now, the ones we remember is 68 has a z-star of 1, 95 has a z-star of 2, or more precisely 1.96, and 99.7% has a z-star of 3. Well, what about 90? So to find that z-star, we're going to have to do a little bit of work. So the little bit of work we're going to do is that we're looking for 90. So we're going to put 90% in the middle. 90% in the middle. And what we're looking for is that z-score. That z-score is the z-star. Now, the way to figure that out is if the middle is 90 and the whole thing is 100, that means each side must be 5%. Each side must be 5%. And remember, when we go to the z table, we're looking for the area to the left. So the area to the left would be 90 plus 5, which would be 95%, 0.95. So to find that 0.95, we're going to go to the table. We're going to look in the center, and we're going to find the closest to 0.95. The closest to 0.95. It may be between two, but we're going to look for the closest. We're going to look for the closest to 0.95. And the closest to 0.95 would probably be between these two. Either one is appropriate, or we can actually find out what's between them. So let's say we pick this one and we get 1.64, or we can do this one, which is 1.65. So either one is fine, 1.64 or 1.65. If we really want to be exact, we can find between them would be 1.645. So the z-star would be 1.645. Again, you can use 1.64, 1.65, or if you want to be more exact, 1.645. There is a way to do this in the calculator using the inverse norm, but you're going to need that area to the left. So you still need to find the area to the left, which is 0.95. And then the calculator is going to ask you for the mean of 0 and standard deviation of 1. So to show you how to do that, inverse norm, you're going to hit second vars, go to number 3, inverse norm, choose inverse norm. The area to the left is what it's looking for, is 0.95. Mu is 0, standard deviation is 1. This one's a little fancy, it has the left. Go to paste. Or if yours looks like inverse norm, it's 0.95, 0, 1. You can close the parenthesis right there. And you will get 1.645 as well. So we know the z-star, we know the p-hat, now we're just missing the SE. Well, it's the same SE as before. So remember, it was square root of 0.40, 1 minus 0.40 divided by 100, which again, I'll do it for you, but it's the same SE as the previous problem, square root of 0.40, parenthesis 1 minus 0.40, close parenthesis, divided by 100, and it's at 0.049. So we have all of our pieces. Now we can fill in the formula. P hat plus or minus z star times your SE. So P hat is 0.40 plus or minus z star. We'll use the 1.645 times your SE, 0.049. Do 1 with the minus, 0.40 minus 1.645 times 0.049. And then 1 with the plus, 0.40 plus 1.645 times 0.049. Put that in the calculator. 0.40 minus 1.645, parenthesis, 0.049, close parenthesis. We get 0.3194, 0.3194. Then we're going to hit second enter. That gives us back to us. Change it to a plus. And that will give us 0.4806, 0.4806. Before we write our sentence, let's check it in the calculator. Remember, we have 40%, which is 0.40, which comes out of 40 out of 100, and the confidence level was 90. So to check this in the calculator, we go to Stat, over to Tests, all the way down to letter A. Still X is 40, N is 100, but we change the C level to 0.90. Enter, and we get 0.3194, 0.3194, then 0.4806, 0.4806, everything matching, and then we can write our sentence. We are 90% confident the proportion of college students who admit cheating on an exam is between 31.94% and 48.06%.